Hi there, I'm Kelly Howard with Bayou City Outdoors.
And I'm Amy Hope with HTXoutdoors.
And thank you for joining us this evening for stand-up paddling. This is Houston Outdoor Live, and every week we're bringing you something different you can do in Houston, Texas. Tonight we're at 288 Lakes, and Amy is going to be demonstrating all about stand-up paddleboarding. So, Amy, would you like to stand or start with some gear? And while Amy's getting her gear, showing what she's got, we've got some people who are going to go out there, do a little bit of paddling, and then we'll be showing them how to use their boards. So, Amy, you want to talk about some of your gear you've got on?
Yeah, sure. So today I've got on just some water pants and a water shirt. Just it helps keep you cool in the summer or warmer in the winter. It also has SPF 50 in it, so it helps protect against the sun. I also have a life jacket on. So when you're stand-up paddleboarding, you have to have a life jacket on your vessel. It's a Texas law for pretty much every open source of water. So you have to have it on your vessel. You don't have to wear it as long as it's on your boat, but you might as well wear it if you're bringing it, because if you fall off and knock your head, it's nice to have.
That's why you have it.
Yeah, it's nice to have the life jacket on. So I've got the life jacket. I've got water shoes on right now, but I'm going to take those off when I get on the board. And then the paddle.
Okay. And you want to demonstrate? I'll hold this in while you grab that other paddle, and then we can show them. She'll show how long your paddle, or how tall the paddle length should be, and how to fix this paddle to make it work for you. So, Amy, as you can tell, she's reaching just slightly up, but any manufacturer of a paddle out there is going to tell you on their paddle what length you need for your height. This particular paddle has the ability to change the entire shaft length. So Amy will show you how to do that.
There's a little latch here that comes down, and then you just pull the handle up, and you can adjust it until you get that bend in your arm, or there's numbers on the side of it too, so you can add about 9 inches or so to your height, and that would be the number. And then when you get it so it feels right, you just clip it back in, and now you've got a paddle that's the right height.
Now she's set. So first thing that we're going to do now is she's going to show you what the stance is when you're getting on a board. So the first thing she's going to do is she's going to take her shoes off, because you might want to wear your shoes down to the water, but when you're on that board, you want your feet to have contact with the board. And you want to keep your feet relaxed, because your feet are going to be the first things that get tired. So Amy's got relaxed feet. She's also going to keep relaxed knees. You keep them slightly bent. That's going to give you that ability to keep your balance even when things are moving. Then she's got a nice straight line between her head and her hips, still relaxed. If you find yourself getting tight, what you want to do is just smile. When you smile, everything relaxes. So your body relaxes when you're smiling. So give it a big grin, and she's going to be, that's Amy. So that's your stance on the board. Then one thing you want to do is you want to be super careful when you're getting on the board at first, because you might find that you're a little unstable and falling in. So you want to make sure you're away from anything you can hit your head on. So Amy's going to take her board, move it out. She's going to start on her knees, because your knees, you're pretty stable on your knees. And she's also going to stand right in the center of her board. So as you can see, one of our paddlers over here to my left, or my right, whatever it is, she's starting on her knees so that she can get a little bit of just some forward momentum, so it's a little easier to get going and standing up. All right, and Amy, can you see Amy now? All right, so Amy is down here. She's going to scoot forward just a little bit so that, so that they can see her. So she's going to start right there, and then she's going to push herself away from the shoreline so she doesn't bash her head if she happens to stand up. So now she's on her knees. She's going to put that paddle in the front of her across the board, so you don't have to worry about the paddle. She's just going to lay it right down, and then she's going to be able to stand up from there and pick the paddle up. See? Easy, perfect stance. So now her feet are parallel. She's got her paddle. She's got her knees slightly bent. She's comfortable and ready to go. First thing she's going to do is, Amy, would you show them how to hold the paddle? See how the paddle has a little bit of a dip away? You've got a shaft and then the paddle blade comes out. That paddle blade is supposed to kick forward. So she's got her paddle blade kicking forward. And then she's going to just get it warmed up, move our way a little bit. Stand-up paddling is a core exercise. It is not arms. You're not going to power yourself through the water. What you're thinking about when you're taking that stroke is you're planting your paddle and you're using your stomach. You're using your core. She's going to take the paddle, and she keeps it almost, the blade stays almost completely in the water. And when she plants that paddle, she has two choices. She can plant it and pull it through the water, or she can plant it and pull herself toward the paddle. That is a stronger stroke. So, see her getting some speed up right there. And now we're playing polo. Chicken. We're playing SUP chicken. What's up, chicken? So Christy, take your paddle. Excuse me for just a second. Take your paddle and lay it across the front of your board. There you go. Now, just slowly go up to your feet as you're comfortable, and then pick up your paddle as you go up to your feet. Keeping her feet. Christy's gonna get up on the board. She's gonna keep her feet, slightly apart, kind of hip width and perpendicular. Perfect. Perfect. Maybe move your feet in together just a smidgen if you can. All right. So back to Amy. Sorry. So Christy was demonstrating falling off for us. You want to do some strokes real quick?
Yeah.
All right, so Amy's going to do a couple of strokes. What she's going to do, she showed you a forward stroke. And so now what she's going to do is she's going to show you how to turn the board. So as she can either sweep out. That sweep out is an easy stroke. Anyone can practice. She can do a half sweep. So if you don't want to do a really big turn, you can do a half sweep, just partially. She can do a rudder, so she's going to bring that paddle back forward. She can just maneuver her board. If you need to maneuver your board even more, let's say you want to turn quicker, you can step toward the back of the board and then do a sweep. You'll get a much quicker turn. All right. There you go. Okay, so right now, I'm going to step out so you guys can see everything that's going on. So, take your paddle. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. BJ, turn your paddle around. There you go. So, yep, and then now you can scoop forward. All right, so out here we have a couple of people who have just paddled, like literally for 15 minutes, and they're already taking off and doing a great job. Amy, do you mind showing them how to fall properly and get back on the board? So what Amy's going to do is what I call a starfish. So if you feel yourself losing your balance, right? What you want to do is you want to spread yourself out across the water, so that in case it's shallow, you're not like diving in on your head or something. So, yep, we can see you. Amy's just afraid to get wet. So she just starfish. So you put your hands and your legs out and land that way. So now what she's going to do is she's going to get back up on the board. She'll take her paddle, put it up there, and it's not always the easiest thing to do, but you can do it. She's just going to, we call this, if that was the starfish we just did, this is the whale. So you just like pop back up. Now she's back on her board, and she can get moving. Anybody have any questions out there?
How do you go straight?
Oh, okay. Amy, can you demonstrate going straight? So the way she's going to go straight is she's actually going to paddle evenly, right? And she may have to compensate because we've got some wind out here today. So she may have to paddle 2 times on one side and 1 time on the other side. but that's going to make you go straight. Another thing that allows you to go straight is a little bit of speed. So a little bit of speed will keep you moving forward. All right. Any other questions out there? Christy, how do you feel? Good. So when you're ready, you just put that paddle down on the front and then keep your feet kind of hip width and come on up to your feet and then just start moving forward. But it's okay, everyone should know this. It's totally okay to stand up paddleboard on your knees until you're totally complete and comfortable on that board, because everyone does it.
What if you need to stop abruptly?
So the question is, what if you need to stop abruptly? And earlier we did have that happen where someone was coming in rather quickly, and instead of stopping abruptly, they just kind of like T-boned the dock. So first thing you want to do is you want to be looking where you're going, paying attention to what you're approaching, realizing that right now we have a tailwind out here. So that tailwind's going to make you move quicker. And then if you need to stop abruptly, you can do one of two things. You can use your paddle with some quick backstrokes on either side. That works. Another thing you can do is you can just kind of drop to your knees and do some quick backstrokes. Either one will work, but mainly instead of abrupt stops, more than anything, you want to be controlling your board so that when you're coming into something, you're not just slamming into it. These boards are a little bit delicate too, and they're oh. No, just show them how to paddle.
Can you J-stroke like in a canoe?
Oh, can you J-stroke like in a canoe? Can you show them? You can, actually. A J-stroke is a stroke you can use. It's a little bit more advanced, okay? But you can definitely J-stroke. In fact, almost any stroke you would use in a kayak or a canoe, you can use on a stand-up paddleboard. Absolutely. So, what other questions? Oh, I know a question that people ask quite frequently is, so what happens, why are my feet so tired? Why are my feet so tired? Why are my calves so tired? And the reason your feet and your calves get tired is that you've got monkey toes, right? You're scared and you're hanging on with your feet. So what you want to do is you want to think about relaxing your feet, wiggle your toes a little bit, keep your knees bent, just like do everything you can to keep your feet relaxed, because I promise you those are going to be the first things that get tired and cramp up.
I mean, you wouldn't do this like in an ocean, would you? You'd only do it in a confined area.
Okay, so another question is, would you do this in an ocean or just a confined area? People do this everywhere. We've done it at the beach quite a few times, and it's it's kind of fun because you get there early. It's pretty flat, so you get the feel of it, and the waves start building, and I promise you, a wave this big feels like a 6-footer, but it's a lot of fun. People even do it in whitewater rivers, but this at 288 Lakes, it's confined. You can't get lost. It's pretty nice out here.
What do you think about the inflatable board?
Oh, another question is, what about inflatable boards? And an inflatable SUP is probably the only time you'll ever hear me say, you know what, this is a great substitute for a regular board. An inflatable SUP is light. They get super rigid, just like a regular stand-up paddle board, and they're super easy to pack and really easy to carry. When you're packing your SUP, if it's an inflatable, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've got something to dry it off absolutely 100% completely dry before you put it up, because where we live, you're going to get mold if you leave something wet. But inflatable SUPs are awesome. Other questions?
Can you use the same paddles for, like, if you have a kayak and you don't have any other special paddles? Oh,
okay, so the question is, can I use the same paddle for my kayak as I could for my SUP? And no. Sorry guys, your paddle needs to have some. My SUP paddle has something for me to hold on to, just like a canoe paddle, like that, but like this. The difference is that where a canoe paddle would be probably, I'd be holding right about here, a SUP, it's going to be really long. So, and it's long so that I can get the full blade into the water and get that full scoop of water when I'm using it. Other questions? No? Okay. So we're going to go out and do a little bit of paddling with everybody out here. And I think we're good. Okay. You go play, and I'm going to tell them to sign off and come join us. Awesome. Okay, so, pardon?
18th also.
Yeah. So if there's no other questions.
Other than 288 Lake,
one other
are
question.
other good spots for us to set close to the city?
Okay, so other than 288 Lakes, the other places you can sup are close to Houston. There's Twin Lakes, which is down in, I think it's Beltway or Highway 6. There's Lake Woodlands Lake. There's Lake Livingston. There's Lake Conroe. I mean, those aren't super close, but they're close enough. Some people sup in Buffalo Bayou. If you're going to sup in Buffalo Bayou, just be really careful to stay away from anything in the water, like a tree limb or something, because same rules apply. You don't want to be, near a strainer on a bayou. But those are the best places. And then, of course, Galveston, and, start early in the morning when it's flat. It's beautiful down there. Or go inland to the other side of Galveston, like the ICW. I'm sorry, Galveston Island Park would be where you'd go. And that brings up a couple more things. One of them is you should know that in about 2 weeks, we're going to be doing a live event about kayaking. It is going to be held at Allen's Landing downtown. So you'll be able to see where you can paddle right in the middle of Houston, Texas. And then also, if you're interested in learning how to kayak or learning how to sup, on June 18th, it's Sunday, June 18th, we're going to be back out here at 288 Lakes. We'll have a ton of boards, we'll have a ton of boats, we'll have a ball, and it'll be all afternoon. You can find that on our websites, and come on out and check it out. We'll be doing lessons that day. So thank you guys so much for joining us live today, and we will see you next week. Next week is Backpacking Live. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye, Amy. See you, Amy. Have fun.